Hi. This week I thought I would go a bit more in depth about my pre-competition diet, so the diet that I've been doing through summer, but I didn't do the diet in order to compete this year. I didn't do it with the purpose to compete. I wanted to do it to test how my body would respond after not dieting for about 5 years. I was carrying a bit too much weight for a competition. So what I've done is I've dieted down enough to where I think I'm at a point where I could compete again, and then I'm going to come back out and then go a little bit deeper next year, so lose a little bit more weight next year just to get in really good condition for competing again. The reason I wanted to test it as well was because I mentioned last week that I had 3 knee surgeries, and I wasn't completely convinced that my knee would hold up to it. I thought I'd have to do more cardio than what I did, but I think the 5 years of off season has helped me develop enough muscle to speed my metabolism up more, so I haven't needed to do quite as much cardio as I have done previous competition diets. So I'll kind of talk through what I was doing at the end of the diet, and then I'll try and compare it next year when I do my competition diet. So I started at 94 kilos, and being English, nobody knows what that means, so 94.5 kilos, and that was about 14 stone 11 pounds. Yes, I got fat. So last year, obviously, last few years really, with not being able to train legs and not dieting properly, I did get over quite a bit over what I actually wanted to compete at. So being natural, I didn't want to lose over 3 stone for a competition diet, and that's what I would have had to do this year. So I went from 14 stone 11 pounds to 12 stone 8 pounds over the course of 16 weeks. So I did a 16-week diet, and then I reversed, or I am doing at the moment, I'm reversing back out. So I'm going to go through a reverse diet in another video. But at the beginning of a reverse diet, I slowly started increasing my calories. However, I was still in a calorie deficit, so it took my body a bit of time to adapt to get into a calorie surplus again. So because I gradually increased it and didn't go drastically increasing my calories, I continued to lose weight through October. So I dieted from May until the 1st of September. And then until the end of October, although I was increasing calories every week, I continued to lose weight. So I actually got down to 77 kilos, which is about 12 stone 1 pound. So I went from 14.11 to 12.1. A total weight loss of 2 stone and 10 pounds. Now in the reverse diet, I'm gonna go up to about 85 kilos, so 10 kilos under what I started my diet at. So I'm going to show you how to control weight gain, and I don't want to do that too fast. I want to do it about 1 kilo a month, and so that equates to about 2 pounds a month until April, and then I'll start dieting from next April. The most I want to lose for competition diet is about 1.5 stone, maybe a little bit more. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that next year, but I thought it'd be useful now to show you how my diet went over summer, how fast I lost weight. So it was, on average, it was about 2 pounds a week. Now ideally I want to lose about 1 pound a week to try and protect my muscle as much as possible. So next year I'll show you much more closely of what a competition diet should look like, but I wanted to get rid of a lot more weight in order to compete. Again, like I said, this off season has been longer than what I normally have due to injuries, and that meant that I probably put a little bit more body fat on than what I actually wanted to. Okay, here's the graph that I put on. So as you can see, May up here started to lose weight fairly steadily. It was about a 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds a week, but then after that from July it went a little bit more drastic, and that wasn't really on purpose. It was just how my body was responding at the time, and like I said, I did have quite a bit of weight to get off. So this, between September and May, this was 16 weeks that I counted out, and this is where my reverse diet started. So that's where I mentioned that I carried on losing weight over this time from September through October, and that I carried on losing weight at the beginning of my reverse diet. and that's where I changed from 80 to 77. And then from October I gradually started to increase weight. So as part of my reverse diet I started to increase then. But if you can see there, the rate of increase is nice and steady in comparison to the weight loss. And this rate of increase is probably a similar rate to what I want to get my weight loss to over next year. I said I'd mention briefly what I did this year for my diet. I'm going to go much more in depth next year for competition diet and go through exactly what calories I'm having each week, my training and everything. But just to briefly summarise my pre-competition diet this year, the most cardio I did at the very end was 4 mornings a week. So before I did fasted cardio, and that was for 40 minutes. Literally all I did was I went out for a walk every morning at kind of moderate intensity for 40 minutes for 4 mornings a week. And then after 2 of my lifting sessions I did 20 minutes of steady state cardio again. That was it. I thought I'd have to do more. For other competitions I've had to do a lot more than that. Last competition I did morning cardio and evening cardio pretty much every day by the end of it. So I think the time in off season has helped me a lot in terms of getting more muscle mass on. What I've found is, anecdotally for me, having the increased muscle from what I'd had the previous competition, I haven't had to do as much cardio, which is a positive, because it's meant that I wasn't as tired this diet. I mean, when I'm losing that next half of a stone, it might be that I kind of have to sacrifice a bit of energy in the gym just to get that extra bit of body fat off, but this time it wasn't too bad. Apart from the last month, it got a bit more difficult. And the lowest calorie intake on average, a weekly average, was just above 2,000 calories. I started at the beginning of the 16 weeks at around 3,500 calories. So all I did, that equates to about a reduction of 100 calories every week. So I literally reduced my calories by about 100 calories every week. At most weeks, and gradually increased cardio. I think I started at the beginning, I was doing maybe 2 or 3 morning cardio sessions of about half an hour. So it wasn't a drastic increase really. I think I pretty much relied mainly on my nutrition rather than adding loads and loads of cardio in. And at the end of this video I've put in part of a training video, but I've also put in a food that I'm going to be having all of this week after my workouts and kind of on my rest days as well, just to show you that I can fit in unhealthy foods, or what is perceived as unhealthy foods, as part of my diet and still be able to achieve the goals that I needed to. And I'll show you how I fit these foods in to my diet each week over the next few vlogs. To wrap up, the end of this video is a shoulder and arm workout, which is specifically hypertrophy. And I'm not going to go too much in depth now about training either. What I've thought about doing is maybe setting a website up and putting a link at the bottom of my YouTube videos for people to kind of access the training I'm doing each week and my training split. And that'll give you a bit more insight about the training. I'll also talk a bit more in depth about the training, how my training's evolved over the last few years, and what I've found has worked for me for adding muscle on and also increasing my metabolic rate. So yeah, hope you enjoy the training, and I hope you enjoy the cake video too.